Start. Over the initial phase of the national lockdown, within March 24 to April 14, India reported a 20-fold increase in confirmed SARS-CoV-2/COVID-19 cases within 468 to greater than 10,000 and a 36-fold increase in deaths within 9 to 330 stop. Increased testing may partly account for this but testing is still inadequate and these data present underestimates. Stop. The case fatality of 2% to 3% is indicative of the large number of deaths India can expect. Stop. Para. Debates about the relative merits of mitigation to flatten the curve versus allowing herd immunity to build naturally are increasingly irrelevant. Stop. The failures in widespread testing for infection or for immunity imply that transmission chains via asymptomatic, mildly symptomatic, and pre-symptomatic people remain undetected. Stop. Most countries, including India, are inadvertently employing hybrid strategies. Stop. Para. The lockdown an extreme example of mitigation has been extended to May 3. Stop. The dire socio-economic consequences and the scale of human tragedy that play out daily make a prolonged total lockdown undesirable. Stop. Alongside infection control, a strategic plan of action to mitigate suffering and to stimulate economic recovery is urgently needed. Stop. Para. In a recent interview, the Union Health Minister Harshvardhan asserted that lockdowns and social distancing are the most effective social vaccines available to fight the pandemic. Stop. A social vaccine has far broader implications. Stop. Para. So, what is a social vaccine? A social vaccine is a metaphor for a series of social and behavioral measures that governments can use to raise public consciousness about unhealthy situations through social mobilization. Stop. Social mobilization can empower populations to resist unhealthy practices, increase resilience, and foster advocacy for change. Stop. This can drive political will to take action in the interests of society and hold governments accountable to address the social determinants of health by adopting progressive socio-economic policies and regulatory mechanisms that promote health equity and reduce vulnerability to disease. Stop. Para. When applied to pandemics, the effectiveness of a social vaccine is determined by the extent of dissemination and uptake of accurate information about personal infection risk and methods to reduce the risk through consistent core messages disseminated through a variety of means. Stop. A social vaccine addresses barriers and facilitators of behavior change, whether attitudinal, social, cultural, or economic, and supplements information, education, and communication IEC with targeted social and behavior change communication SBCC strategies. Stop. Para. Uganda and Thailand used these strategies effectively during the HIV/AIDS pandemic to bring down the incidence of HIV infection before highly active antiretroviral treatment HAART was introduced in 1995. Stop. They demonstrated how an effective social vaccine helped flatten the curve, till effective treatments were discovered that dramatically reduced mortality, viral loads, and infection transmission. Stop. Para. The human immunodeficiency virus HIV that causes the acquired immune deficiency syndrome AIDS is believed to have made the zoonotic jump from monkeys through chimpanzees to humans in Africa as early as the 1920s, but the HIV/AIDS epidemic was detected in 1981 and was a pandemic by 1985. Stop. From 1981 till December 2018, around 74.9 range 58.3 to 98.1 bracket close million people worldwide were HIV infected and around 32.0 within bracket range colon 23.6 to 43.8 bracket close million died within bracket 43% range colon 41 to 45% bracket close from AIDS related illnesses. Stop. Para. The early years of the HIV/AIDS pandemic were also a time of global panic. Stop. The cause was unknown within bracket till 1984 and diagnostic tests were unavailable within bracket till 1985. Stop. Since there was no treatment, a diagnosis of HIV infection was a death sentence. Stop. Widespread fears of contagion rendered many infected people homeless and unemployed. Stop. Many were denied access to care. Stop. Stigma, discrimination, and violence towards infected individuals, their families, social groups within bracket sex workers, gay men, drug users, truck drivers, migrants bracket close, and even health workers were common. Stop. Criminalizing sex work and injecting drug use followed. Stop. Para. Conspiracy theories, misinformation, and unproven remedies were widely propagated. Stop. The blame game targeted world leaders and international agencies. Stop. The preparedness of health systems, social prejudices, and socioeconomic inequities were starkly exposed. Stop. Para. Reducing HIV transmission centered on acknowledging that everybody was potentially infected, thus even those apparently healthy, thus, and that infection occurred predominantly through sexual transmission and intravenous drug use. Stop. The core preventive messages involved being faithful to one sexual partner or 100% condom use during sexual intercourse outside stable relationships, semicolon, resisting peer pressure for risky behaviors, and harm reduction for intravenous drug use. Stop. These measures conflicted with prevailing cultural, social, religious, behavioral, and legal norms. Stop. IEC and SBCC activities targeted within bracket and partnered bracket close individuals, families, community leaders, peer-led community networks, and social and health systems to change attitudes and behavior. Stop. Religious and community leaders were key change agents. Stop. For example, the Catholic Church in Uganda did not initially support promoting condoms for safe sex since its use prevents life. Stop. After large numbers of people died of AIDS, their tacit acknowledgement that their religion did not preclude the use of condoms to prevent death was an important turning point. Stop. Thailand pioneered the effective use of social marketing of condoms for safe sex and used humor to diffuse social taboos about publicly discussing sex. Stop. Para. These strategies and advocacy against stigma and discrimination were successfully adopted in India. Stop. These skills and experiences can be innovatively adapted for the current pandemic. Stop. Para. The core infection control messages are available from official sources. Stop. Maintaining physical distancing in social situations within bracket unless impossible bracket close, and wearing cloth masks or facial covering in public within bracket especially where distancing is impossible bracket close by 100% of people within bracket and 100% of the time bracket close is key to preventing infection along with regular disinfection of oneself and one's surroundings. Stop. Effective and innovative IEC and SBCC strategies should address the barriers and facilitators to implementation. Stop. People are more likely to practice these behaviors if all leaders within bracket without exception bracket close promote them publicly and consistently. The whole community believes in their importance, and if proper information, support, and materials are available and accessible. Stop. Coercive or punitive methods are invariably counterproductive, as was seen with HIV/AIDS. Stop.
Yeah.